The triangular region R with the vertices 0, 0, 2, 0, and 1, 3 is shown in the following figure. Part A says find the transformation of t from S to R, defined as TUV equaling XY, where that equals AU plus BV, comma, CU plus DV, where A, B, C, and D are real numbers with AD minus BC not equal to 0, such that the T inverse of 0, 0 equals 0, 0, and the T inverse of 2, 0 equals 1, 0, and the T inverse of 1, 3 equals 0, 1. So this is a mouthful of information here. What we're going to do is we're just going to decipher this piece by piece. So first, realize the triangular region R. So they're saying this here is R. And then next what we're looking at here is we want to create a transformation from S to R. So that means we have to create the S here. So here's S. So with S being here, now we can look below here and keep in mind here before I go there that T is a mapping from S to R. So T is going to go this way. That's my T. And if you notice I go the other way, that's going to be T inverse. Now notice below here that this says T inverse of 0, 0. So that means my points are coming from R, because now I'm going from R to S here, and T is going from S to R. So since I'm going from R to S here, that means my point 0, 0 is coming from here, and it's mapping to 0, 0, which will be here in S. And then the next point they said is 2, 0. Now 2, 0 is here, and they say it's going to map to 1, 0. So that will be here. Oops. There it is, excuse me. And then the last point that they have is 1, 3, and 1, 3 maps to 0, 1, which that's going to put me here. So now if I draw the triangle for this, we can see that, hey, that there is going to be my new triangle in S. Now my transformation again, keep in mind here, it's going from S to R. Okay, so that's what we're going to create here. Now we're going to come up with a nice little system here, and that's fine. It's not going to be a big deal to do this. We're just going to use a little bit of algebra for the most part. So one thing I can say about all of these, if these are T inverses that equal the variable in S, or I should say components in S, then if I look at T, T is going to take this here and map it to there. So that means T of 0, 0 is going to equal 0, 0. And similarly, if I take this one here, which is in my S, and I map it to R, that's going to be T of 1, 0 goes to 2, 0. And also, if I take this third one here, and I take this point in S and I map it to R, that's going to be T of 0, 1, and that's going to map to 1, 3. So by using these points here, I can figure out what my A, B, C, and D will be here. Now remember here, these are my X's and these are my Y's. These are my U's and these are my V's, because now we're doing a mapping from S into R, and my S is U's and V's, and my R is in terms of X's and Y's. Okay, that's something to note here. So knowing this now, I can say that when I plug in 1, 0, using these formulas here, we would get A, and my U is 1. That's from here, because that's my U. Plus, and then I would have B, and my 0 is for V. And then I'd have comma. And then for my CU, that would be a 1 plus D, and V is 0. So this is what this would end up being. Now, to simplify this would actually end up being, how do I want to write this? I'll write it over here. That this would be A, comma, C. And that's because B times 0 is 0, and D times 0 is 0. So I would end up A, comma, C. Now, the interesting thing about this is this A and this C are x's, because look at our formula here. It's AX, and that equals my x there. And the CU plus DV equals my y there. So this A and C are x's. So that means 2, 0 equals AC. And this would imply that A equals 2 and C equals 0. Now, I didn't do the first one here, 0, 0, because it wasn't going to result in anything that was useful for us. But go back to it and use the same logic here to find out that I just get 0, 0. Now, let's just take a look at the third one here. So now this one here. So this is going to be plugging in 0 for U and 1 for V. So that would be A times 0 plus C times 1, comma, or B times 1, sorry. Yep. And then I would have C times 0 plus D times 1. And then this would result in B, comma, D. So then this would imply that B would equal 1 and D would equal 3. And that just follows from the same logic. All right, so now we have all of our letters for the actual transformation here, for the transformation T, because we have A, B, C, and D. And we're going to use that information. So to find T here, and that T is going to be from S to R, and that T UV would equal my XY, which equals 2U plus V, comma, and then I would have 3V. So there's my transformation from S into R. From this triangle here with this region to R. We're going to come to part B in a later video.